Guardians, what's up ladies and gents, your boy Sly here, and welcome back to another Sly Nation Destiny 2 video. So a little bit ago I uploaded another video about the revamped control mode for D2, but here in this video, let's dive into some gameplay of the Void Warlock and Void Titan, and also give them kind of a quick review. If you're new to the channel, welcome and thanks for checking out one of the smaller Destiny YouTubers. I'd love to have you be a permanent member here at the Nation, so hope you enjoy it, and to all my veteran subs, well, y'all just badass. Now, even though the Sentinel has been talked about a lot, we really haven't seen all that much about it, except for a snippet during Homecoming at the D2 release. They haven't shown a lot of him at all. And the Void Warlock, well, we even know less about it. There for a while, it was speculated that it might not even exist in the game, but thankfully it is alive and well. IGN dropped a couple of videos on Monday that are a definite watch. I can show clips to get the idea across to you all, but due to copyright concerns, I cannot show everything, and even if I could, I always make sure to point out the original video, which, by the way, is located down below in the description box, so make sure you guys go give that a watch. It is definitely worth it. Now, one thing that caught my attention is how IGN was careful not to label it Voidwalker. Instead, it's Void Warlock. Now, it's not to say that the name has changed, because there is a possibility it did not. I just find that interesting. After all, we still have Striker, Titan, and Gunslinger Hunter, so there is a possibility it could stay the same. Okay, so first up, let's take a look at the Sentinel Titan, and then we'll get into the Warlock. And it's actually, guys, it's kind of funny. I had to retake this part 3 freaking times because I kept calling it Defender, but in any case, these new subclasses need to be viewed at differently than those in Destiny 1, and not because of their supers, but mainly because of their class ability. It's almost like a half super, I guess you can call it. It plays a huge role, and the Titans, well, the Titans is pretty damn strong. First off, let's talk about the jump and the speed of the jump. Now, it seems to have increased slightly from the first boost. However, consecutive boost does not seem to add additional speed like it does now. So Titan skating can still be done. It just doesn't seem to create any more additional momentum, I guess. It's just merely more for control. Also note that in my earlier video, I told you all a power ammo spawn at the beginning of control. This is not the case, guys. I have no idea why they didn't say anything in that video, but if you read the original on IGN, way at the very bottom, not in the video, it clarifies that this was added into the game for that video. Why they did that, I have absolutely no idea. But just wanted to make sure you guys got that point, that power ammo does not spawn at the beginning of the match. Okay, so moving on. The shielded dancer, Sentinel. One thing I have to point out, normalized cooldowns, guys. They are so slow. Watching the grenade and melee recharge is like trying to pull your own teeth. Insanely slow and painful. Now, we still do not know the inner workings of the Sentinel, so I can only speculate here, but it looks like a magnetic grenade is what's equipped. And as for melee, not quite sure about that either. And hopefully they're bringing back Disintegrate, especially for making orbs in PvE. It was a great tool to use on small mobs, and of course the shield was nice as well. But as you can see, the Titan is still indeed a fast beast. Now imagine if the Dune Marchers showed back up with Mida Multi-Tool. That would be insane. In any case, watching this gameplay goes to show you just how crucial this Titan class ability really is. Being able to completely block off behind you and focus solely in front is a huge asset, especially in control. If you get into trouble, you can just dip behind the shield. You might show your back for a little bit, but it gives you time to readjust and think, or try to make an exit and how to stay in the fight. Also, this player using the Titan shows you how to use this new mini kinetic gun really well. It has a huge mag, so spooling it up right before you go in for the kill can help you out a ton. And even though you keep holding it down, there's enough in reserve that you can keep shooting while looking for another target. Make sure that you keep it spooled up. I think it's great to take note of, or if you want to try this weapon out in a few weeks' time, this is exactly how you should be handling it. Alright, so let's move on to what makes this Titan shine, and that's when he busts out the Shield Dancer. Take a look, guys. This is why I call it the Shield Dancer. It's the agility and lethality of the Hunter with the armor of a tank, adding the new increased time to kill, and it's going to be hard to take down this beast when he's in the Shield Dancer mode. Also, notice how fast you can cover ground when your super's procced. Notice how when the Titan swings forward, the energy is not really expended by any significant amount until he actually hits someone. Only then does a decent chunk of super come off, which is completely different from what D1 had. In Vanilla Destiny, you lost a lot of super by trying to spam it, while here, it looks to be not quite as bad. Again, we don't know the inner working, so it could be some kind of subclass upgrade, but in any case, you can cover ground insanely quick. And even though this player was awesome in Crucible, there is still a decent amount of auto lock going on here. So, my biggest question, at least for me, has to do with the other side of the super. Instead of shield dancing, how do you drop it low and pop a bubble? Now I'm willing to bet weapons and blessings are no longer around, and now you simply have the bubble for protection only while the Warlock plays support. But can you use the shield and say swing a few times and then pop a bubble, or do you need a full super to pop it? Does the Ward of Dawn stay out a certain amount of time, or does its lifespan depend how much super was left when it was deployed? I have a ton of questions, but we can all agree that with its class ability, the ability to block supers and heavy, with the Sentinel shield, and now the ability to close in on targets very, very quickly like that, the Sentinel shield dancer is one opponent you should not be taking lightly. Alright, next up, let's take a look at something I am personally excited about, the new revamped Void Warlock. While I do have a concern, we'll tackle that when we get there. So first off, let's start by watching gameplay from a different video, and let's talk about the jumps. So while the Warlock still has the floaty, glide kind of jump, it has seen a nice rework with a much bigger boost at takeoff, something everybody was excited to see. But more so than just a rework of normal jumps, we see something that I love about the Warlock. Blink makes a return, but it looks like they have worked pretty hard on changing it. While it looks similar, there are quite a few changes. The sound, obviously, but look how freaking far Blink can take you. The distance as well as its height seems to have been increased dramatically, which is something I've been wanting for a very long time. Blink is strictly seen as a jump for PvP. Period. End of story. Why? Well, because you can't even get past a few jumps in some of the strikes using Blink. Looking at you, Darkblade, let alone trying to use it in the raid. And that's kind of a shame. Blink is fun, and it should be able to be used anywhere. Next, let's take a look at the radar when you blink. You see that? It disappears for quite some time, and while this is used to discourage those that use Blink to throw people off in close quarters, if you spam Blink, you won't be able to see where your enemies are besides using your own sight. Also, I'm sure the cooldown timer for Blink hasn't changed that much either from Destiny 1. I'm also sure that the penalty to recovery is probably there as well. How this will affect things, well, we'll know more here in 7 days, my friends. Okay, so moving on to the Warlock's class ability, we got a powerful one in Destiny 2, guys, the Rift. The Healing Rift in particular. Pretty much take blessings or weapons of light and then give them to the Warlocks in a Rift. That's what we have. Now, probably nowhere near as powerful, but the idea is pretty much the same. Empowering Rifts buff weapons for the entire fire team, but the catch is you have to be standing in it for it to work. The second one, Healing Rift, is where things get interesting. So, show of hands, who hates going up against a shielded Titan or shielded Warlock in the Crucible? Especially when they got the shield off of you, right? Okay, everybody. Even though I main a Warlock, I hate it too, guys. Now check out this Healing Rift. Not only does it give you continuous healing, but it overheals you. In essence, it gives you a shield, but again, you have to be standing in it. Once you leave, the overheal does as well. However, you do get to keep all of your health. It'll be interesting to see, once we get into the end game, how many shots you can take as a Warlock when you spec for all armor while constantly sitting in a Healing Rift. Now, I just need an exotic that makes the shield travel with you once you leave it, and we're good to go, guys. So, moving on to grenades. We have a new form of scatter grenade here. They appear to be a few less clusters than the original scatter grenades, but it's kind of hard to be sure. It simply looks that way. Because of how slow the cooldowns are this time around, no one uses grenades that much, so it's kind of hard to tell. And no one actually gets hit by them, unfortunately, so it's kind of hard to judge how effective they really are. But if you factor in that even stickies no longer kill you with just one hit, then I can imagine scatter grenades are toned down as well. They also seem to explode very, very soon after scattering, rather than bouncing around for a bit and then popping off. What I would have liked to have seen were the Axion bolts, but I guess we can't spoil everything. The melee, well, that's still uncertain as well. Not sure if the Void Warlock will have its light vampire side to it or not, but I really liked Energy Drain, so hopefully that and Bloom will make a comeback. Alright, and next up, let's take a look at the new Warlock suit. What the hell is that? A death turd? So this was the thing I wasn't certain about at the beginning of the video. I mean, if you couldn't tell. the new Nova Bomb. While absolutely massive, it looks a little clumsy and slow for my taste, guys. I mean, the Void Walker, in my eyes, is about agility, speed, in and out, hit them hard, blink out, disappear. The new Nova Bomb, while planet-sized, it just looks odd in my opinion. If you saw this at a fair distance, you could avoid it no problem. As y'all can see, I'm fairly sure that it does track enemies, and it's definitely a bomb-like proportion, but I just don't know about this one yet, man. I mean, hopefully we can get a different kind, or at the very least, be able to put Lance in there. Now, personally, I think we're going to see a roaming Void Walker in the second skill tree after it's unlocked. I think there's going to be an option to use 3 or 4 smaller Nova Bombs instead of this huge tracking freaky planet thing, or at least I hope so. If Void Walkers do get that option, then they will be the only static super left in the game. And by static, I mean, it's probably not the best choice of word here, but I mean non-roaming. Like, you dump it, you're in, you're out of super, like the old Striker Titan. You super, poof, it's gone. I think we're going to be seeing something like Quiver for Shadow Shot, but instead, it'll be for Nova Bombs. As always, guys, we'll have to wait and see, but yeah, that's about it, ladies and gents. Definitely suggest you check out the original gameplay video and see it unedited. You really get a better understanding on how much things have changed. If you add all of this with the changes to control, the weapons, time to kill, grenades, ammos, cooldowns, the Crucible will be a completely different experience than the one we're all used to. And that, my friends, is something I'm actually kind of ready for. Now, if only we could just solve the lag issues. Alright, y'all, well, I am out of here. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and like I said, if you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by, and you're welcome back to the nation anytime. Spank a thumb if you enjoyed the video, or even if you think a turd would have been a better view. Subscribe for more Destiny 2 news, and you can always check me out on Twitter or Facebook. Sly Nation Gaming. It's a great place to keep up to date on all the latest news, as well as my latest uploads to YouTube. Or you can just stop by and say, what up? Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Keep those eye holes open for more Destiny and Anthem videos in the very near future. But until then, this is your boy Sly. 7 days until beta, guys, and I am out of here.